Today will continue on CBS in just a moment. All right, Pat, thank you so much. We have some final scores, some highlights now. This is a post-game for the New York and the Dallas game. How gracious Tom Landry was in defeat. For those of you in Chicago, Denver, and the other cities getting ready for a game, Landry said the Giants deserve to win. They outplayed us. But, of course, the Cowboys pulled it out. And we got some highlights from the Atlanta-Tampa Bay game.
Another heartbreaker. Of course, Atlanta wound up winning that game 17-14 in the closing minutes of the ball game. And at halftime, it looked as though it was going to be Tampa Bay all the way. This is first half action. Doug Williams, number 12, goes up top and hits Morris Owens for a 64-yard gain down to the 1-yard line. And from there, next play, the running back Ricky Bell goes in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay, 7-0 in the first quarter. Steve Bartkowski gets his club on the board with a handoff here to James Mayberry. He goes down to the 5-yard line. This is fourth quarter action. Bartkowski rolling out, this time hitting number 86, Jim Mitchell, his first touchdown pass of the year. And Atlanta gets in the ball game 10-7. Late in the ball game again, Bartkowski handing off to Bubba Bean, and Bubba Bean goes all the way, touchdown, and the Atlanta Falcons upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 17-14.
All right, Irv, over on the scoreboard, in effect this year, we have three conferences, American, National, and the one the Pittsburgh Steelers belong to. Now, I want to show you one more score and then some highlights of Pittsburgh, because another game has just blown open. Mike Pruitt has just stormed in for the Browns. They lead the Eagles with time running out, 24-19. Let's show you some of the action from that Steeler game. Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers, of course, last Sunday, dominating the Dallas Cowboys. And today, well, there was a school of thought that maybe they'd be down. Well, down is still good enough for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Watch here. Bradshaw got time. Stallworth breaks free. 6 for the Steelers. Joe Theismann, though, rallied the Skins. Then Riggins got to the outside. And they pulled even at 7. But Bradshaw made it look easy. Here it is to Cunningham, the tight end screen, which is becoming a big play with the Steelers so far this year. This time, he wants another tight end, Randy Grossman, who had broken free in the back of the end zone. One more time to Stallworth. This one, 65 yards after the bobble. And how talented Stallworth and Swan and Cunningham and Grossman, not to mention Franco Harris. Here's Kruzak. Moser in, and it was 38-7. Back to the scoreboard now. In the fourth period, New England 23 and Buffalo 6. Buffalo had led in that game by 2 field goals. In the third, St. Louis is ahead of Minnesota. Kramer hit Sammy White on a 14-yarder in that game. Cincinnati 21, Baltimore now 17. Anderson 67 yards to Isaac Curtis. Curtis has been quiet this season, but today he strikes from 67 yards. San Diego 10, Kansas City nothing. Fouts 13 yards to Lord Jeff for the touchdown in that game. So for some of you, it is so long for the rest of the afternoon. The rest of you getting ready to watch a game. And for Jane and Irv and Jimmy the Greek, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long from CBS Control in New York.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Lincoln Mercury and the exciting 1980 Cougar XR7. And by Olympus OM10, great shots automatically. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
On a bright, breezy day from Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois, the NFL on CBS presents the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Hello, everyone. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris here at Soldier Field. And, Johnny, the Chicago Bears coming off the victory against San Francisco last week will start Mike Phipps at quarterback again. Yes, he started the last couple of games. They have won. In fact, Mike Phipps has started 7 games for the Chicago Bears and has won 6 of them over his years here. So the rejuvenated Bear offense has been scoring points the last couple of games. They'll try and continue that today. The struggling Lions still have Jeff Kamala, the rookie at quarterback. They've got 3 rookie linebackers in action today for the second week in a row. James James Harrell, Ken Fantetti, and John Brooks.
And can you imagine with 3 rookie linebackers trying to stop Walter Payton? He's got 1,000 yards, and of course they're going to try and isolate these linebackers, make them do a job on Walter, and it's going to be very difficult, be an interesting game.
All right, the teams are out there getting set for the kickoff, and we'll see what Monty Clark and his Lions can do today against a Bears team that's still counting themselves in the Central Division race.
And Tim, as you mentioned, we have kind of a nice day here in Chicago. It's around 50 degrees. It's a lot warmer down on the field because the sun is still there. There's a slight breeze. It's going to get cold because this is kind of a late start at 3 o'clock in Chicago. In fact, it'll be dark before the game is over as you see the Detroit Lions preparing to kick off to the Chicago Bears. And the fans are a little bit excited because they feel that the Bears, with a 4-5 record, hearing that Tampa Bay lost today, still have a chance in this NFC Central Division.
All right, Benny Ricardo will kick it off as the Bears will receive to our left in their home black uniforms, the Lions to our right in white. The deep man is Bashnagel. It's taken by Ricky Watts from his own 10-yard line, number 80. Watts out over the 30-yard line, met there by a swarm of Lions tacklers. And the Bears will begin offensively with this unit. Albrecht, Jackson, Dan Neal, Reeve Story, Dennis Lick across the front. Wide receivers are James Scott and Brian Bashnagel. The tight end is Mike Cobb. The running backs, Walter Payton and Dave Williams, playing in the injured Roland Harper's spot. And at quarterback, as we said, Mike Phipps, number 15. Phipps, 10-year man from Purdue, passing at a 55.8 percentage, 43 completions and 77 attempts. 10 of 19 last week against the 49ers. High formation. Bashnagel in motion to the slot. Payton straight ahead. Got about 3 yards, close to 4, out to the 35-yard line. Doug English, number 78, the right tackle, made the stop. Dave Purifoy on the left end. Big Bubba Baker on the right side. Cleveland Elam joins English at tackle. The linebackers, as we mentioned, are all rookies. Brooks, Fantetti, and James Harrell. A secondary with Walt Williams on the corner with Luther Bradley on the right side. Jimmy Allen and James Hunter are the safeties. Second down and 7. Bears shift to the eye. Williams the lead back, number 22. He has the ball and nowhere. Baker was there, but the first man to hit him appeared to be Doug English, number 78, getting up last. And a missed block and good effort by English to make the stop for no gain on the play, maybe a loss of a half a yard. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Bears and the National Football League is prohibited. Well, we'll have lots of final scores for you, and there is a big, impressive victory again by the Steelers over Washington. The Redskins, having a good season, ran into the Steelers today. Third down, Bears. Phipps has time. Deep sideline, Bashnagel, incomplete. Coming back well was Williams getting into the play. The deep coverage was by Dave Parkin, number 44, in the nickel defense. It is fourth down.
That time, if they could have connected on the pass a little bit sooner, they might have had a completion, but the Detroit Lions look pretty strong on that first series. They're going to get the ball right off. The Lions are supposed to be a little bit weak against the run. However, they gave up a lot of yards against the pass last week, but they stopped Payton that time in Chicago, and the Bears will have to punt.
Bob Parsons standing at his own 20-yard line. Awaiting it at the 25 is John Arnold, rookie wide receiver. He is nailed immediately. Winford Gaines, the man to put the hit on him, number 36, Steve Schubert, right there with him. So the Detroit Lions will have their first offensive opportunity, a 39-yard punt by Parsons. Across the Detroit Lions offensive line, Carl Baldischweiler, Homer Elias, Larry Terry, Russ Bollinger, that should be, and Keith Dorney. Scott and Washington, the wide receivers. Ulysses Norris starting at tight end. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Dexter Bussey, Horace King are the running backs. Jeff Comlow at quarterback, the rookie number 19 from Delaware. Bussey. Not much. A yard, maybe. Trying the right side. Alan Page, number 82, ranging over. Made the stop on it. Ulysses Norris getting the start over David Hill, the second leading pass catcher in the NFC, with 29 catches. And as we look at the Bears defensively, Dan Hampton, Jim Osborne, Alan Page, and Mike Hartenstein across the front. Muckensturm, Hicks, and Campbell, the linebackers. A secondary of Schmidt, Livers, Fensick, and Plank. Second and 10, Detroit from their own 25. Bussey again nowhere to go. The Bears stacking up that Detroit offensive line and holding him again to no gain. Hartenstein and Hicks on the tackle. Hill not getting the start, Johnny, this week because he had some personal problems that kept him away from some team meetings and some practice this past week. Coach Monty Clark just felt that he wasn't quite as well prepared for this Bear game as he might normally be. He is expected to see some action, but the rookie, Ulysses Norris from Georgia, getting the start.
Well, we'll get a good look at Jeff Comlow on probably his first passing situation. Let's see how he does.
It's 3rd and almost 11. Extra defensive back in for the Bears in the passing situation. Draw play. Good one for Horace King. Gets a good block at the 40 and has a first down out at the 47-yard line. Virgil Livers, the cornerback, came into the middle to get him.
And some good blocking down the field by Balderschweiler. On the passing situation, the draw as they get by Alan Page, and you'll see number 76 get out in front to make a key block to help King dip back to the left as he puts the block on Gary Fensick, and finally he's knocked down by Virgil Livers. Good play by the Detroit Lions, who are at the 46.
First down, Lions. Shadow starting to lengthen here with the late start this afternoon here at Soldier Field. Comlow wants to throw on first down. Screen to the tight end, Norris. Good defensive play. Terry Schmidt, number 44, and make it Fensick, number 45. Fensick making a real fine tackle on it.
In fact, it was a saving tackle. He was the only man that was going to stop that screen, and he did the job. As you look at the final score here, no, it's not a final. It's in the fourth quarter. Cleveland 24, Philadelphia 19.
Well, we've just been told that it is now final, too. So the Browns with a win over the Eagles, who've been having their problems the last couple of weeks.
And there you go. The AFC beats the NFC once again.
Philadelphia now 6-4 behind leading Dallas. Dallas beat the Giants earlier today. In the final seconds, Dexter Bussey flagged down. Bussey, good running to the 45-yard line of Chicago. Fensick again on the tackle, number 45.
That game that we just talked about is an important one as far as the Chicago Bears are concerned, because they're hoping for a wild card spot, and when Washington and Philadelphia and teams like that lose, that gives them that much more of a chance. Of course, the Lions are 1-8, not much chance for anything this year. They're just hoping that their injured quarterbacks can get well and be back next year. Guys like Danielson and Reed, and Comlow has done a pretty good job considering he was a 9th-round draft choice.
Yes, he sure has.
Offside on the defense, number 99. Penalty is refused. 3rd down.
Dan Hampton guilty of the offside. The officials today, along with Red Cash and the referee, Art Demis, Ed Marion, Tom Dooley, John Fouch, Nate Jones, and Bill Kingsley. It is 3rd down and about a yard for the Detroit Lions at the Bears 45. Again, motion appeared to be by Detroit as Robin, to make it to Larry Gaines, takes it downfield but whistles all over the place. Lawrence Gaines, number 38, been bothered with a hamstring pull. He's been hampered by injury since coming into the league 3 years ago.
I think Ulysses Norris might have moved a little bit too soon on the right side of the line.
Red Cash and the referee will tell us momentarily, and they are marching it off against the Lions, and I think you're going to be right, Johnny.
False start. Number 80 on the offense. Still 3rd down.
We'll see it again. The rookie, Ulysses Norris, little motion drawing Hampton over. Norris, the rookie from Georgia, number 4 pick this year, and as we mentioned, getting the start over David Hill today.
The last time Detroit ran a draw in this situation.
3rd down. About 6 yards to go, and the Bears are coming. Comlow's got good protection. Complete. Freddie Scott, first down inside the 35-yard line of the Chicago Bears. And the Lions defended well against the blitz, Johnny.
They certainly did. As you saw the safety blitz coming there, the Lions picked it up. Comlow had to throw a perfect pass, and he did, right into the midst of Scott. And he caught it just before he went out of bounds with Virgil Livers on the coverage. Now you can see the blitz. Here comes Gary Fensick, 45, coming through. And there is the pass right on the money. Livers can't get there in time. Both feet down and out of bounds. First down, Detroit.
Lions at the 34-yard line of Chicago. Their opening offensive series. In motion behind the ball is Scott. Comlow for Leonard Thompson, complete. Now drops the ball. Took a tremendous hit. The ball is loose, and it is secondary coverage. Muckensturm made the fumble recovery. And so the Chicago Bears have picked up the fumble and have first down.
And Leonard Thompson is still down on the turf.
Tonight we're brought together here by two dudes we all love. Good food and light beer from Miller. Hey, I want to take this opportunity myself to tell you. I have no respect.
Gaston, je dis saignant. What is it?
Meatloaf sandwich and a light.
Gentlemen, we all know and appreciate, light has 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it's less filling.
But the best thing is it tastes great.
Less spelling.
No, yours is by your Bronco.
This is my property.
What's wrong with you guys?
Hey, Bubba, you want the peas?
Hey, you gonna eat all that?
Just showing off.
Gentlemen, in closing, I'd like to think I speak for all of us when I say if it wasn't for light, I wouldn't be where I am today. Hey, you're for power!
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Well, we're going to see that play again. Leonard Thompson really took a rap here, Johnny.
He came down on just on the quick post, makes the grab, and appeared to have control of it. And here comes Doug Plank, number 46, to just jolt Thompson and knock the ball loose. It's a good call by the officials. Now you're going to see the recovery by Muckensturm, number 58, as Thompson is still down on the field. So apparently he really took a pasting there, and I hope it is not serious.
Leonard Thompson, the 5-year man from Oklahoma State, a real handyman on this Lions team. A good receiver, also can play running back. He's a return man, and he would be a serious loss to this club. They're just now getting him to his feet, and looks like he's going to be all right. Tremendous hit by Plank. Next Saturday here on CBS at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, live coverage of the 28th running of the Washington International from Laurel Racecourse in Laurel, Maryland. Expected to compete, Golden Axe, the 3-year-old colt, has finished in the money in all 3 Triple Crown races. Bowl game winner of the Turf Classic, Native Courier, Son of Love II, and others. So should be a great race from Washington, D.C., the International. That's next Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.
There you take a look at Leonard Thompson over on the sideline. He appears to be okay. The crowd just reacted to the Tampa Bay loss to Atlanta.
First down, Chicago Bears following Muckensturm's fumble recovery. And the Lions jump over. Were they drawn? We'll see.
It was Cleveland Elam who went across and hit center Dan Neal, and they're calling it against Detroit, so it'll be a 1st and 5 situation for Chicago.
Mike Phipps at quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Walter Payton, Dave Williams, the running backs. Golden Richards will be operated on tomorrow.
Number 72 of the defense. First down.
Elam is the guilty party. Golden Richards, the fine wide receiver of the Bears, undergoes surgery tomorrow. We wish him the best of luck. And, of course, he's finished for the season. Scott and Bashnagel are the wide receivers. This is Walter Payton squirting out to the 34-yard line, close to the 35. And Al Baker, number 60, coming over from right defensive end, made the stop.
Did you see him pick up Walter there?
Yeah.
San Diego leads Kansas City. That game's 13-7 in the 4th period.
Greg Latta in at tight end, replacing Cobb for the Bears, bringing in the play.
We have a 2nd and 1, which usually is what you call a live play. You got something to do with it. You can maybe come up with a surprise play.
James Scott in the slot left. Bashnagel wide left. Out of the eye. Williams straight ahead. Has the first down and then some. Out over the 40-yard line to the 41. Doug English and James Harrell, one of those 3 rookie linebackers, made the tackle.
There's an interesting stat. Walter Payton's averaging only 3.9 yards per rush in 8 games against the Lions. The Lions held him to about 75 yards a game last year, so they've done pretty well against Walter, better than most teams.
He brought in a 4.7 average into the game, so the Lions have held him under that. 1,000 yards even coming into today's game. Number 1 in the NFC. Payton. Good defensive work by the Lions front. Purifoy was there, number 75. Linebacker number 51, James Harrell, put the initial hit on him. Leonard Thompson is apparently expected to return to the game following that tremendous hit put on him by Doug Plank. We just got that word.
The Bears have been running Walter from the eye in this game so far, almost up the middle every play, so it's about time where they will run him and pitch it to the outside as you look at that tough Detroit defense.
Second down and about 7. Dave Williams, number 22, out over the 45 to the 46-yard line. Picked up about 3 yards on the play. He was stopped by Baker and English. Williams, a third-year man from Colorado, a free agent picked up from the 49ers when the Bears ran into fullback injuries. Roland Harper, Robin Earl were both hurt. Earl is back, but Harper is gone for the year with a knee injury.
Ricky Watts just came in the game to give a play to Mike Phipps. Of course, all plays come from the bench. We'll see what they come up with on 3rd and about 5.
Watts goes wide left. A lot of shifting here now as Bashnickel comes into the slot right. Wide split from the back, and they're all out there. The blitz is on. It's complete to Payton, trying to stay in bounds. He does. Payton all the way down to the 35-yard line of Detroit, where James Hunter, number 28, put the tackle on him. Teddy had a big rush on here.
Yes, and James Harrell had to cover him, and you'll see number 51 slip down as he tried to jam Walter Payton. He was all by himself and avoided going out of bounds here with his great balance. Stayed in bounds down the sidelines. Finally, he's knocked out of bounds by James Hunter. The Bears in Detroit territory.
First down at the 34-yard line of the Lions. They come out in the I formation. Walter Payton gets inside the 30-yard line. The Lions appeared to have it shut down pretty well, and as usual, Payton made more out of it. Doug English put the stop on him. A flag is it down on the play.
Look at that one. Green Bay 6-0 over the Jets in the first period, and it's probably going to go against Detroit either roughing or face masking or something along that order because it was on the hit.
So the Bears get a little extra assistance from the Lions after a gain of about 4 yards on the play by Walter Payton. They'll march it down close to first down yardage to the 25.
Face mask, number 51 on the defense, first down.
That's the rookie linebacker, James Harrell.
Off the I formation, the pitch to the left side. Let's watch number 51. There's his hand. His left hand takes the grab, and there's no question about that. Good call.
Bears first down at the 25-yard line. The penalty gave them enough, and it is complete to Dave Williams at the 20-yard line of the Detroit Lions. Doug Jones. And there is Mayor Jane Byrne of Chicago. A little
she's having a good time, and she was the first major mayor in the United States to endorse Senator Kennedy for president, so she made some news.
I think she was not happy that our cameraman caught her while she was eating the hot dog.
She handled it well, though.
Yes, she sure did. 2nd and 5 for the Chicago Bears at the 20-yard line of Detroit. Walter Payton straight ahead, bursting through to the 12-yard line. Pulled down by John Brooks, the linebacker, number 53. First down, Bears.
Let's watch number 57, the rookie middle linebacker, Ken Fantetti. He's the man there that couldn't fill up that gap, got caught in the traffic. Payton put his head down and jammed through there as the middle of the Bear offensive line did a good job. Neil Story and, of course, Noah Jackson.
Look at this one. New England with a big lead over the Buffalo Bills, 26-6 in the 4th period. First down, Chicago. Little razzle-dazzle. Phipps still has it. For Payton, double coverage, incomplete. Good coverage by Harrell. The linebacker stayed with him all the way down there with the flow coming to the right. And then coming over to get into it to double it up was Luther Bradley, number 27. Good play defensively.
It certainly was. They faked the handoff with a little razzle-dazzle to Payton, figuring that once they faked to Payton that everybody would forget about him. But not so. James Harrell was with him, and there was Luther Bradley to help him downfield. So they had good coverage.
James Harrell, a rookie from Florida, was picked up on waivers from Denver and practically walked into the starting spot. Injuries to Weaver and Washington at linebacker, giving Harrell a chance to play. 2nd and 10 Bears. Payton on the draw, and it is Harrell again, number 51, meeting him right at the 10-yard line. He got maybe 2 yards. How would you like to have that assignment given to you? The coach says, okay, Harrell, you got Payton today.
Man for man, wherever he goes.
That's the way it looks. It looks like they're doing that. We'll watch it a little more closely, but I would imagine a young man like James Harrell saying, hey, Coach, why don't you pick on somebody else for that job?
Well, the Lions' defense is centered around the 4 rushmen. They're a pretty good defensive line, and those linebackers drop off. But when you bring Payton out of the backfield, they're not doubling him. They're just having one linebacker try and cover him. That's a tough job.
Big score of interest to the Bears fans. St. Louis leads Minnesota 24-7 in the third period. Third down, 8 to go. Phipps can't find an open man. He's going to run it. Stumbled, but got over the 5-yard line to about the 3. He'll be short of the first down. Bradley and Fantetti were there to make sure he went no farther. And the crowd already hollering, go.
He had a chance to throw it to Payton out in front of him, number 34, but he decided to go ahead and run and try and get the first down and fell just a little bit short, and the fans are yelling for the Chicago Bears to go for it. It looks like they're about 1.5 yards short.
Just a little more than a yard. We have a timeout called by the Chicago Bears. And Mike Phipps is going to talk it over with head coach Neil Armstrong. 4:45 remaining in the first period. There is no score. And the New England Patriots move to 7-3 ahead of idle Miami. Miami on the Monday night game.
The Bears like the quarterback sneak in this situation, but it might be a little bit too long. So their other option is maybe to have Payton fly over that line like he does so well. We'll see.
4th and a yard. Double tight ends. Latta and Cobb are in. Bashnagel on the wing. Motion by the Lions. Flag down. Payton was short of the yardage, but it appeared that the Lions were offside. Now let's see how the referee views it.
But at the same time, it also looked like Walter Payton may have moved too soon, but they're going to call the Lions for offside.
And I'm also wondering whether Phipps' cadence might be giving the Lions defense some problems, and he could be called for that if he moves his head at all with it. But if he deliberately draws him over with a little bit of motion with his head, of course. But so far that has not been called against him, so he must be doing it properly. And meanwhile, the Lions are called for offside.
Well, that has to be a very big penalty.
Defense, offside, number 75 and number 21, first down.
Well, Purifoy had some help from Walt Williams on the play. They were both eager to get in there and stop this Bear drive. But it is first down, Chicago, just outside the 1-yard line of the Detroit Lions. We are scoreless in the first quarter. Payton, touchdown.
Walter Payton scores his 7th touchdown in the last 3 games. This one was easy pickings as it got good block. Look at that block by Dennis Lick and Robin Earl there as Payton comes through. Doesn't even have to dive, just pushes through, gets the touchdown. He had 3 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games, and this is his first of this game as the Bears take the lead by a score of 6-0.
Good hole for Walter Payton, who now has 25 yards on 7 carries. That was his 10th touchdown of the season. He leads the NFC in touchdowns. Bob Thomas with a point after. And with 4:38 to go here in the first quarter, the score, the Chicago Bears 7, the Detroit Lions nothing.
Why have over 1 million people Midas-sized their brakes? Was it because they know Midas has brake mechanics that are specially trained? Was it because they know Midas has the right brake parts in stock? Or was it because they know Midas has over 20 years' experience under the car? Well, whatever the reason, it certainly was no accident. It pays to Midas-size your brakes.
After all these years, I still like working out. But what I really like is the beer that's waiting for me when it's over. And if you work out the way we do, there better be a lot of beer waiting. That's why we drink light beer from Miller. Light has 1/3 less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling, and it tastes great. Take it from a guy who works out a lot. Could really use one right now.
Here you go, Bruce.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The Chicago Bears won 74 yards in 12 plays following the fumble recovery by Jerry Muckenstern. They used up 5:40 of this first period, and they lead it 7-0. Ken Callicutt and John Arnold, rookie wide receiver number 47 from Wyoming, the deep man awaiting Bob Thomas's kick. Arnold, an interesting story. He was a walk-on at their free agent camp last summer and impressed Monty Clark to the point where he was among their last couple of cuts. And with the injury to Luther Blue, Arnold was re-signed. He had been doing some coaching somewhere, presumably in high school or college ranks, and got the call from the Lions to come on back. We liked what we saw. Nobody else had picked him up in the meantime, and so here he is, getting a chance to play, and he's one of their return men in addition to being a backup to Freddie Scott at wide receiver. Short kickoff taken by Callicutt. It was Lonnie Perrin with the kickoff. Of course, some of that for the Denver Broncos. And that one came up short. Callicutt took it out over the 30-yard line where he was stopped by Mike Spivey.
And there you see Chicago Bear quarterback Vince Evans on the sideline. Of course, he's been out with that staph disease for about a month and has lost some weight, but now is rehabilitating. And the Bears have had their share of injuries, as have the Detroit Lions. I don't think anybody's had as many as Detroit, though.
Boy, they've really had their problems. And I tell you who they really miss is that big John Woodcock on the defensive line. He's been a severe loss all season long. It is first down for the Lions at their own 31-yard line. Dexter Bussey out to the 35. Picked up close to 5 yards on the play. And he was hit by Muckenstern, 58, and the middle linebacker Hicks, number 54. Second and, let's call it 5 yards, Monty Clark, the head coach of the Detroit Lions. High hopes coming into this season with great finish last year, 6 wins in their last 8 games. The performance of Gary Danielson and excellent backup quarterbacking in Joe Reed. He lost them both. He lost Woodcock. He lost Tony Leonard. Several more injuries since then. Horace King battling out to the 40-yard line, picked up about 4 yards. Page was there. Hicks was there. Number 54, Osborne also in on it. It'll be third down. And about a yard, maybe, let's call it 2. 3rd and 2.
The Lions run the ball pretty well. Bussey got, I think, 139 yards last week. He says, if we run enough, I'm going to get some yards. He once rushed for 924 yards in a season. That's the second best ever by a Detroit Lion. They can move the ball. Their problem is if they get behind, they're in trouble, and they haven't been able to hold leads when they do get ahead.
Horace King went out. David Hill came in for the double tight, and Lawrence Gaines, the running back, breaks through 2 tacklers and has the first down. Lawrence Gaines, outstanding running. First down at the 46-yard line of Detroit before Livers finally tripped him up.
Yes, this was just great individual effort by Lawrence Gaines. He seems to have shaken that knee problem. There he busts one tackle, and little Virgil Livers has to try and make the tackle. That's 230 pounds against 175, and Virgil did pretty well considering, but Lawrence Gaines' individual effort, Detroit first down.
Jeff Comlow, who completed his last 10 passes last week against Buffalo, has completed his first 3 today, and he has his first incompletion, but a flag is down. That was intended for Gene Washington.
I think they're going to call Muckenstern for being offsides. He was lined up beyond the ball just from the very word go, I believe.
Comlow had a good day last week, 13 of 17 against Buffalo, and we just mentioned the last 10 in a row were complete, and he was 3 for 3 until that play.
It might have been Gary Campbell, but one of the linebackers was lined up offside.
Offsides on the defense, number 59, still first down.
Gary Campbell it is. Johnny Morris. San Diego in front of Kansas City, 27 in the fourth period. Oakland in front of San Francisco, 9-0 in the first period. Los Angeles leads Seattle 7-0 in the first period. Lawrence Gaines, very little gain. Inside the 50, got about a yard. Hicks put the first hit on him. Dan Hampton was over there from the left defensive end, number 99.
There is Walter Payton relaxing after that long drive. And you see Mike Phipps sitting next to him. Mike, the little gray on the side of his head, but that's a sign of distinguishment, right?
That's right. It's definitely premature. He's only 31. Lawrence Gaines, scrapping, picks up about 3 yards before he's bowled back. Gary Campbell, Jerry Muckensturm, the outside linebackers combining to stop him. I would have to guess that that's some college student here in the Chicago area looking for some help. I wonder if it would get spent on bed sheets. If he's using them up like that, he might have to spend it on bed sheets. He or she. Third down, 2 yards to go for the Lions. They are at the Bears' 47-yard line. David Hill is in the game at tight end along with Norris on this 3rd and short. And a little confusion on the play call. Comlow. There's a little discussion as to how this is going to be charged. We've got 1:10 to go. First period, 7-0 Bears.
This baby's been from Maine to Malibu, but I don't let her go nowhere without the treatment.
This is no car. This is a legend.
Like Comlow was trying to call timeout to prevent that penalty, but no such luck. So it is 3rd down, and now about 7 yards to go. Comlow to throw. Comlow incomplete. Intended for Lawrence Gaines. Flag down against Muckensturm. Probable interference call. We'll wait and hear it from Red Cashin. So Comlow was 3 for 3 that last drop on a penalty. Kept him at 3 for 3, and let's see what happens here.
Well, I think they're going to call Muckensturm for having his arms wrapped around Gaines, and I believe that I have to agree with the call because he was draping him before the pass even got there.
It is Muckensturm, and we'll see the play again. Well, no, we won't. We're going to show you 1st down. Back live here, right at the midfield stripe. The Lions on the mark. Interference against Muckensturm. Slot formation left. Dexter Bussey, and a great defensive play by Dan Hampton, number 99. And then Tommy Hicks finished him off. But Hampton blew in there and slowed him up.
And Dan Hampton is playing with a broken bone in his hand, but it doesn't seem to be bothering him. They felt that maybe it might bother him on the pass rush where you try and use your hands to pull somebody out of your way. But on the run game, he would do well, and he did well on that one. Number 1 draft choice out of Arkansas, the Razorbacks.
We may see their number 2 pick, Al Harris, another defensive end on the right side from Arizona State, who's been out with an injury all season, but got into action last week for 3 plays. We'll be watching for him today. 2nd down and 12. Comlow has the time. The ball was tipped, and it's intercepted by Campbell. Campbell's got some room. Tackled from behind all the way down to the 25-yard line. Gary Campbell, a flag down there. He was pulled down from behind by Dexter Bussey, number 24. 8 seconds remain, first period. Chicago 7-0. We're all the way down at the Lions' 25-yard line. However, an unnecessary roughness penalty against Doug Plank on that return has moved it back outside the 40-yard line of Detroit. It is, however, Chicago ball. Slot formation right. So that infraction of Plank occurred after Campbell's interception. Thus the Bears' possession. Walter Payton, not a lot of running room on the right side. Got a couple. Purifoy, number 75, first man to hit him, and the gun sounds ending the first quarter here at Soldier Field. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris bringing you this Bears-Lions action, and the score at the end of the first quarter, the Chicago Bears 7, the Detroit Lions nothing. 7-0 the score here at Soldier Field in Chicago. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris as the Bears are on the move again following the interception by Gary Campbell. A very even quarter statistically as we see the Packers still leading the Jets, and now by 9-0. We'll give you those stats in a moment. First down, Bears at the 38 of Detroit. Phipps, lots of time, intended for Payton, incomplete. Just slightly overthrown. He got one hand on it. at the Lions' 30-yard line. In that first period, the Lions had 44 yards rushing. The Bears had 43. Lions had 25 yards passing. Bears had 24. And in first downs, 5 for the Lions, 6 for the Bears. About as close as you can be, but the points belong to Chicago.
And Peyton is now the 5th leading scorer in Chicago Bear history with 342 points. He just passed Gale Sayers. He also moved into 10th in the all-time rushing list with those few yards that he got in the first quarter.
Third down. I had given the Bears a first down. It is indeed third down now. And close to 8. Phipps. Complete to James Scott. Hit immediately by Jimmy Allen. And short of the first down. Jimmy Allen, number 40. Strong safety with a timely tackle, stopping the Bears short. Van Teddy, the rookie linebacker in the middle, number 57, coming back to get in on it.
So we have a fourth down situation. The Bear fans are saying go for it, but I don't know. Here comes Michael Cobb, number 87. Are they going to go for it with about a yard and a half to go?
Armstrong is signaling for a timeout, telling Phipps to call time, so they're going to talk about it. And that makes it kind of interesting, doesn't it? We are just into the second period here at Soldier Field with the Bears leading 7-0.
The new pension laws were driving
discussion for a 4th and 2. Johnny, what do you think here?
Well, from the two tight ends in there, it looks like they're going to go for it. I guess they feel that a 38, 48-yard field goal is a little bit too long for Bob Thomas, and so they're going to take their chances on the first down.
Lions have sent in William Gay, 240-pound defensive end, taking a linebacker out for the short yardage situation. The lead back is Williams. The pitch is Peyton. Peyton gets to the 30-yard line and appears to have the first down. The yardage marker is just outside the 30 at about the, let's say 6 inches outside of the 30-yard line. So let's see where they mark it. And you can see there are a lot of interested spectators around the ball.
It's very close, but it does appear to me that he has it.
I would agree with you. We will have it officially here any second. In that Green Bay game against Detroit, 9-0 Green Bay, a linebacker, John Anderson, kicked the field goal for Green Bay. Don't know what happened to Chester Markle. We have no details on it, but Anderson kicked a 39-yard field goal to make it 9-0 Green Bay over the Jets in the second period.
Green Bay was 3-6 going into that game.
Here's the measurement here. The Bears trying to get to 500 with a victory today, and they have the first down at the 30-yard line of the Lions. Well, the Bears scored following a turnover by the Lions in the first period. Jerry Muckensturm recovering a fumble. Plank putting a tremendous hit on Leonard Thompson after Thompson had made a catch. They scored following that turnover, and they are trying to do it again. Slot formation left, following the interception on this drive by Gary Campbell. Dave Williams, loose ball, and Phipps alertly diving out there, made the recovery before Dave Purifoy, number 75, was able to get it for Detroit.
It appears that they had trouble on the handoff. It might have been a little bit of a high hand. No, it was right in there. They just didn't... he didn't quite get it put away, and there was Purifoy, number 75, but Mike Phipps says, I beat you, Dave, I beat you, and the Bears got it with a second down situation.
Minnesota trailing St. Louis 30-7 in the fourth period. Of interest to Bears fans, of course. If Minnesota loses, it appears they will be 4-6. A Bear victory would make them 5-5. The Lions have other ideas, trying to win their second of the season. Phipps complete to Walter Payton, out of bounds at the 25-yard line, pushed out by Harrell. Picked up about 6 yards on the play, maybe 7. It'll bring up a third down and 5 to go.
Look at this. The Rams coming back after a couple of off games, leading Seattle 14-0 in the first period. The Rams will come in to play the Chicago Bears next week.
Third down. 5 to go. The ball at the 25-yard line of the Lions. Extra defensive back in the Lions secondary. Phipps complete to Williams. Flag down. Williams has the first down inside the 15. Pulled down by John Brooks, number 53. But a holding call is the preliminary signal against the Bears.
And from the reaction of Noah Jackson, 65, it may be called on him because he got all upset, but maybe he was just upset because one of his teammates got called. But at any rate, it's going to be against Chicago as the Bears are still sending their backs out of the backfield, getting one-on-one coverage with the linebackers, and that's a pretty good situation.
Holding number 69 on the offense.
Reeve Sorey was caught for holding, and no wonder Noah was upset because that's his best friend.
That's the fourth Bears penalty. We'll see the hold. And that outside rush man by Sorey. Williams made a good play. Brooks pulled him down. Fourth penalty against the Bears, 33 yards in penalty. The Lions penalty yardage. Lions have taken 5 for 22 yards.
And the Lions have not blitzed. They have not blitzed much this entire year. They go with that front four.
It is third down, about 14 to go, close to 15. From the 35 of Detroit, Phipps almost intercepted by James Hunter, number 28. He had that ball measured. It was intended for Ricky Watts, number 80, and Hunter saw the ball all the way. He could not quite stretch far enough to hang on to that ball. Fourth down, Chicago.
Look at this score, 31-21, Baltimore over Cincinnati in the fourth period.
We heard earlier that Burt Jones was injured in that football game. I do not know whether he has continued at quarterback for the Colts or not, but they are winning either way. San Diego has defeated Kansas City 20-14. And here is a 51-yard field goal try by Thomas that is well short. Bob Thomas trying from the 41-yard line. And the Bears come up empty following the Gary Campbell interception. And with 12:43 remaining first half, the Bears 7, the Lions nothing.
41%.
Shadows completely over the field now as we see Neil Armstrong, the Chicago head coach, and that score San Diego final for the victory over Kansas City. They are now 7-3. Denver playing at home starting shortly against New Orleans. First down, Lions, and it is Horace King, number 25, picking up about 2 yards on the play. We'll call it second and, well, they're going to give him a little bit more. Let's call it 2nd and 7. Horace King, the 3-yard gain off right tackle. And, of course, the Lions getting to start from the 39-yard line, make it the 34-yard line following the missed field goal try by Chicago's Bob Thomas. 2nd and 7. King and Bussey, the running backs. That is Dexter Bussey running into traffic straight ahead. Little or no gain on the play as we look at Jeff Comlow. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. Archie Bunker's Place, One Day at a Time, Alice, the Jeffersons, and a special. CBS reports Teddy. Of course, there's only one Teddy that anybody would be doing a CBS special about. That's at 9 o'clock tonight, Central Time.
The Bears now have 6 defensive backs in. They're in their prevent.
Third down, 5 to go. Horace King draw play met by Hartenstein, and now driven all the way back by number 53, Tommy Hart, in at defensive end. The two defensive ends with a little pincer action. Hartenstein really popped him.
Yes, number 53, number 73, they're all in there to pop him. There's Tommy Hart, and Tommy Hart wanted to make sure of that tackle. He thought he might get a 15-yard loss out of it, but no dice. Forward progress, but Detroit has to punt.
This is the first punt for the Lions. Larry Swider standing at his own 22. Steve Schubert is the deep man for the Bears. Good kick by Swider. Really nailed it. Schubert backed up inside his 15 to the 14. Good coverage by the Lions. He's pulled down. First man down was Leonard Thompson. Glad to see him back in action. Number 67 was also there, and that is Wally Basoot. And so the Bears will start from their own 14 when play resumes with 10:35 remaining first half. Chicago 7-0.
You survey where the land is wild and unforgiving. A land of hard, desolate beauty few men have seen. Filling in the
Chicago Bears hold a 7-0 lead. A 49-yard punt by Detroit's Larry Swider has the Bears first down at their own 14. Slot formation left. Williams and Payton the running backs, and they're jumped into the pro set. Little movement. Looks like Mike Cobb. Payton has the ball. Flags are down, and Payton brought it out about a yard. It looked like the tight end Cobb got started a little early, Johnny.
Yes, he did, and that's going to cost the Bears 5 yards. They're going to be in a pretty bad spot. They'll be back on their own 9-yard line, assuming they accept the penalty.
10:29 to go in the first half. Baltimore now leading Cincinnati 38-21, and we see that Greg Landry has 2 touchdown passes in that ball game, so he has obviously taken over for Burt Jones, who was injured back in the first or second period of that game.
Offsides, number 87 on the offense. Penalty is declined. It's second down.
Referee Red Cashin with the news.
It shows the respect that the Lions have for the Bear offense. They want to give them one less down rather than an extra down and 5 yards further to go.
Bashnagel comes wide left, Scott wide right. Greg Latta brought the play in. He's a tight end. Williams shift up to the left wing. Bashnagel in motion. Short side, Payton. Loose ball. He gathers it in, but it'll be a loss on the play. Payton mishandling the pitch out from Phipps. James Harrell made sure he didn't get up and run with it, number 51 for Detroit.
The Bears are shifting a lot of people around, trying to confuse mainly the Detroit linebackers, give them a lot of new looks. But that time, if you can't grab the ball, you're in trouble. Payton does not do that very often. He's very, very sure-handed. It's the Lions that have been having problems with fumbles. They've had 23 going into this game, and they had one key fumble earlier in the game, so they have 24 fumbles. The Bears have only 12 on the year.
3rd and 13. The Bears from their own 12. Walter Payton, he nearly got the first down, but he's going to come up just a little bit short, it would appear, out at the 24-yard line. Dave Parkin, number 44, and James Harrell, 51, finally stopped him. Good running.
There's the draw with sweetness right up the middle. Look at the lineman out in front of him. There's Noah Jackson, Dan Neal, the center down there. And finally they stop him just before he gets to the first down. There he goes. 1,000 yards already this year. He's 10th on the all-time rushing list. He's only in his 5th year.
Well, the Bears will punt with Parsons standing at his own 10-yard line. The deep man is John Arnold. Takes it at his own 40, and Arnold has some running room. Good return to the Bears' 45-yard line. Dan Neal, number 52, the center, made the tackle for Chicago. 37-yard punt. And so the Detroit Lions have good field position. They trail 7-0, 8:51 to go first half.
In 75. The 1980 Mercury Marquis. Come feel how well it's designed.
Feel the Marquis ride.
If a man's favorite threads prematurely lose their threads, and the seams in his slacks seem to disappear, then he needs clothes from Levi's Sportswear. Levi's slacks, blazers, and suits hold their great looks because they're sewn to the tough standards that made the Levi's name famous for durability. Men's clothes from Levi's Sportswear, where quality never goes out of style.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the heavyweights in action in the World Powerlifting Championships, plus Part 2 of the Battle of the NFL Cheerleaders and the conclusion of the World Series of Poker. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
We're going to win all the way.
First down. You heard the word from the Chicago Bear.
That's George the Talking Bear.
First down, Lions at the Bears' 45-yard line, following the good return by the newcomer John Arnold on a short Bob Parsons punt. Dexter Bussey, number 24, blasts his way for about 6, maybe 7 yards inside the 40-yard line of Chicago. Virgil Livers pushed him out of bounds. 8:43 to go, first half. A 7-0 game. The Bears in front. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris reporting the action along the CBS network. Jeff Conlow, number 19, the rookie from Delaware, thrown only 4 times, completed 3 of them. Has had 1 picked off, but the Bears failed to capitalize following Gary Campbell's interception. Bob Thomas trying a 51-yard field goal, came up short. Conlow under pressure. Gets the ball away. Good play by the rookie. He was in the grasp of Alan Page, and Jim Osborne was right behind him, and he just unloaded.
He's lucky he did not get a penalty call, but it was a good play by Conlow. As you look at Jim Osborne, one of the men who put the pressure on, and Alan Page was the other man. If you look at the interior of the Bear defensive line, Alan Page gets through there, gets a hand on him, and Conlow does a good job of getting the ball in the vicinity of a receiver. However, that does not make a difference if the official rules that he did it on purpose or it was an intentional grounding. Doesn't matter whether the ball was in the vicinity of a receiver. As you look at this score, 38-28, Baltimore in the fourth.
They're having some fun there at Baltimore. The Cincinnati Bengals just scored. Anderson to Isaac Curtis. It is 3rd down and 3 for the Lions. Conlow has time, going deep, intended for Norris, and it is intercepted by Gary Fensick. No, yes or no? Yes. The referee signaling he could not get up and run, but the interception was good. Fensick made the catch and was down, could not get up and return it. Let's watch it again.
Okay, the long bomb for Ulysses Norris as Conlow just put it up there, but there was double coverage. The pass was a little bit short, and I thought Norris had it there for a second, and there you can see the interception taking place as Fensick makes the grab. They ruled that he was down, was hit by Norris as he caught the ball. The Bears come out with the ball, but very poor field position. That was a 3rd down passing situation.
Gary Fensick made an outstanding catch as Norris had first contact with the ball, almost had it, couldn't hold on, and as Fensick was falling with Norris, he picked it off before it hit the turf.
And of course, if he had dropped the ball, they would have had a 4th down situation. May have ended up with better field position without intercepting the ball.
True enough, Johnny, good point. 1st down, Bears at their own 2-yard line. Second interception today by the Bears. Gary Campbell had the other. Williams straight ahead, not get much. Couple of yards, trying to get straight ahead and give them a little breathing room. He got close to the 5. Let's see where they spot it. It'll be about the 4-yard line, 4.5-yard line.
Mike Phipps has done a good job the last couple of games as the Bears have been scoring 27, 28 points a game, which is a far cry from earlier in the season. They've had a little bit more of a diversified offense, and Phipps attributes a little bit of it to his physical condition. He's starting to run. He's one of those players now that likes to run 2 or 3 miles after practice once in a while to get those legs a little better in shape.
2nd and 8 for the Bears. Williams again getting over the 5-yard line out to about the 7. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5 yards for the Chicago Bears.
You know, sometimes it's kind of hard to say, hey, here's a key play. But this has got to be a big play for Detroit, because if they can stop the Bears here, they can force them to punt from maybe their own end zone and get good field position, get right back in this ball game. This is, in my opinion, a very big play for the Lions.
Ryan Bashnagel came in for Robin Earl. Williams, Payton running backs. On 3rd and 5, Walter Payton, and goes nowhere. Lions just stacked up that entire interior line. In fact, blocker Dave Williams was knocked back about 3 yards as he attempted to make a hole. Doug English and Cleveland Elam, the 2 defensive tackles, doing a fine job for the Lions, now forcing the Bears to punt from their end zone. Bob Parsons, number 86. 6:40 remaining in the first half. Bears protecting a 7-0 lead. John Arnold awaits the ball at the Lions' 45-yard line. Good kick by Parsons. Excellent. A flag is down. Back at the line of scrimmage as Arnold, trying to get loose, gets over the 50-yard line, but Terry Schmidt spun him out of bounds at that point. And the flag is down back at the line of scrimmage.
And it was down very early, which makes one tend to believe that they might have called one of the Bears for being down the field too soon.
It is signaled against Chicago. A 48-yard punt by Parsons may go for naught. Ineligible man downfield from the kicking unit of the Bears. The preliminary signal from Red Cash and the referee.
I can't believe that the Lions would refuse it. I know they're at the 50, but they could force Parsons to punt from deeper in his end zone and maybe would get a much better situation, assuming they wouldn't fumble.
The kickers, number 47 and number 52, illegally downfield too soon. The penalty is declined. It's first down.
Spivey and Neal were both downfield too early. And the Lions are going to take it from their own 49. Those are some of our games next week on CBS. Jeff Comlow pitching to Dexter Bussey. Bussey trying the right side, got about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Jim Osborne, number 68, made the tackle. In addition to the games we showed you a moment ago, we'll have Minnesota at Green Bay, San Francisco at New Orleans, Atlanta at the New York Giants. Next week, our regional coverage here on CBS. Second down and about 8. Go ahead, Johnny.
I was saying one of Monty Clark's fortes is good blocking schemes, and it looks like the Lions are getting much better running room to the outside. Their blocking setting up better to the outside.
Bo Robinson is in at running back, number 36 with Bussey. Bussey has the ball. Good blocking and has a first down inside the 40-yard line of the Chicago Bears. A timely comment, Johnny. We saw some excellent blocking on that play.
They're able to get their people out in front, and I think they might try and exploit that a little bit more as we look at a lovely fan, and she's got her coat and her fur and everything else on because it's starting to get cold at Soldier Field. And look at the score. St. Louis 37-7 over Minnesota in the fourth period. A rout.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings, should they lose, would fall to 4-6 in the Central Division. That includes, of course, both the Lions and the Bears. Comlow on first down has got lots of time for Horace King, complete. Out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Muckenstern, the linebacker, had the coverage, number 58. Fensick and Schmidt back there trying to help him out.
And what a pass by Jeff Comlow. He laid that one up and over right on the money. Very nice pass. Good pass protection for Comlow. He lifts it up and over Muckenstern and right into the hands of Horace King. He said, "I got it, Ma," and takes it out of bounds, and it's a first down for the Lions at the 9.
There's some leftover Halloween people.
Most Bear fans are prettier than that.
Lions first down and threatening. They trailed 7-0. 4:54 remaining first half. Bo Robinson hit inside the line of scrimmage by Dan Hampton, the rookie from Arkansas, number 99. A loss on the play of a yard, maybe 2. Hicks also in on it, number 54 for the Bears. Robinson had his ribs hurt in Green Bay 2 or 3 weeks ago. Did not start the game today, but he's been in this last series. Lawrence Gaines been bothered with a hamstring. These are the guys that are playing hurt for the Lions. They've got a lot more who are so hurt they can't play. Dexter Bussey. He's got a blocker in front of him. Cutting back inside, gets inside the 5-yard line. Homer Elias, number 61, leading the blocking. Hartenstein and Livers made the tackle on him.
Elias was out front, but he actually kind of destroyed the run a little bit because you'll see Bussey get right up on number 61 and has to dip back in and outside of him. And a good block by Elias, 61. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that it would have been a little bit better if they could have gotten out sooner. But that's where Detroit's strength seems to be. Get those guards out there on that left inside.
Lawrence Gaines, Allen Ellis into the game defensively. 4 defensive backs on 3rd and goal for the Lions at the open. On the coverage was Plank, the safety man, but Comlo, in the face of that blitz, very calmly threw a touchdown strike.
The Bears took the risk. They brought Fensick, they blocked the blitz, and Comlo did a great job in a perfect pass to Norris, and it was in there as Plank could not get there in time, and that was one heck of a play by the Lions.
So the rookie tight end, Ulysses Norris from Georgia, picks up what could be the tying score. That point comes now from Benny Ricardo. Scott Hunter holding. And it is good. So with 3:28 remaining here in the first half, the Detroit Lions have tied this game at 7-all. Well, tomorrow night on CBS, we have this lineup for you. The White Shadow, Coach Reeves' team, learns a hilarious lesson in humility from the Harlem Globetrotters. Sounds like fun. Followed by MASH and WKRP in Cincinnati. And then gambling takes a special toll on Lou Grant. That's all on CBS Monday night. Well, a good couple of plays by the Lions offensively, and you mentioned earlier that Comlo's done a good job under very difficult circumstances with this Lions team. They've had a lot of tough defeats. You would think that that would take its toll mentally on a rookie quarterback, Johnny, but he comes out each week, does his best, and he seems to be getting better and better.
I was talking to Monty Clark before the game, and he said that what he likes most about Comlo is his confidence. As a ninth-round draft choice who probably himself didn't expect he'd be playing football at all this year as far as starting and playing very much, and he's been thrown into this situation. And right there, he showed that he's learned an awful lot as the Bears took the risk, went with the blitz, as they so often do down in their own territory. Sometimes it pays off. Last week it came through with a victory over San Francisco with the blitz forcing pressure and making the interception. This week it gives Detroit a touchdown. So that's what they say about the blitz.
The Lions have really lost a lot of heartbreakers. 6 of their 8 games have lost by 8 points or less. And last week against Buffalo, Benny Ricardo's 44-yard field goal try was blocked on the final play of the game, and Buffalo hung on to win it 20-17, and they had scored very late in the game. A rolling kickoff is picked up by Brian Bashnagel. Bashnagel gets out to the 23-yard line. Good tackle on him there by Arnold, number 47. Getting a good ankle stop on him, and so the Bears will start from their own 24-yard line.
Look at this. San Francisco 10-9 over Oakland in the second period. San Francisco can score points, I'll tell you that. And so is Los Angeles today, 21-0 in the second period.
That game is over in Baltimore, Johnny, and the Colts hung on to win it over Cincinnati 38-28, a real scoring fest in Baltimore today. Colts are now 4-6 after a really difficult beginning with the injury to Burt Jones. He re-injured his shoulder today. Peyton, he's got some running room, and he's over the 30-yard line for a pickup of about 8 yards on the play. James Hunter finally stopped him.
Boy, he had turned it up inside, and James Hunter made a saving tackle. See Peyton spot the crease, comes back, cuts back, and if Hunter hadn't made this ankle tackle right there, Walter Payton would have had a big yardage.
They mark it a 7-yard gain. Well, they're going to call it a little less than 4 here. Second down, closer to 3. Williams has the first down out to the 35-yard line. Al Bubba Baker on the stop. 2:39 remaining in the first half, a 7-7 tie.
Is it starting to get cold, or is it my feet?
No, it is getting cold. It's 4:12, the local time here in Chicago, and the sky's a little grayer, and the sun is well out of the Soldier Field area. We've had shadow over the field for some time.
That's one thing they don't have to worry about at Detroit.
That's for sure.
Beautiful stadium.
First down, Bears from their own 34-yard line. In motion is the tight end, Cobb. They fake the draw, now the screen to Peyton. Peyton gets close to the first down. He just pulled off a hit from Jimmy Allen. James Harrell finally stopped him, and they're going to mark it, it appears, very close to the first down yardage, but probably a little short.
There's the screen pass. The Bears don't run many of those, but notice the 3 linemen out front. Jimmy Allen actually makes the nice tackle here to really jolt Peyton, and then finally they bring him down, and the Bears are very close to a first down. It's 7-7.
2-minute warning. Even at 5-5. Tampa Bay defeated earlier today, now 7-3. Tampa Bay losing to Atlanta. And we have an updated score even on that, as Green Bay now leads 15-14. Leonard Thompson with a 92-yard kickoff return for the Packers has Green Bay in front 15-14 in that game late in the first half. All right, it is second and about a yard, less than a yard. Phipps complete to Bashnagel. First down, Bears to the 41-yard line of Detroit. We'd like to welcome those fans who have been watching the Minnesota-St. Louis game and have hooked up with us to see the remainder of this contest, where we have a 7-7 score, 1:50 remaining in the first half at Soldier Field. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris, and the Bears, with that completion to Bashnagel, have a first down at the 42-yard line of Detroit. Mike Phipps at quarterback. Walter Payton, Dave Williams are running backs for the Bears. James Scott is wide left. Bashnagel right. Oh. Phipps complete to Payton. Hit immediately by the rookie linebacker, James Harrell, number 51. A gain of about 5 yards for Payton.
He can't wait to get up and get ready for the next play because the Bears are into their 2-minute offensive drill.
Second down, a little more than 5 to go as you see the clock ticking away first half. Phipps just got it away with Baker on his tail, incomplete. Intended for Mike Cobb. Al Baker coming in from the right side on the blind side of Phipps, and Phipps just got it away in time.
And once again, Walter Payton was wide open out in the left flat, and Phipps, of course, was looking the other way as Detroit remains in that 4-man front. Not many blitzes. In fact, I don't think I've seen one this game so far, so they're relying on the front four, not even using the surprise attack of blitzing once in a while.
For those of us who have just joined us from that other game, Jerry Muckensturm's fumble recovery by the Bears led to a 75-yard drive and a Walter Payton 1-yard touchdown for the Chicago score. Jeff Comlow passed to rookie tight end Ulysses Norris for the Detroit score. And that pass is complete. And no, it is incomplete. Payton had it, but apparently on a one-hopper, a low ball, and it is ruled incomplete. Fourth down for the Bears. 1:15 on the clock. Steve Schubert brings in the play from the Chicago sideline. Ricky Watts goes out, number 80. Fourth down. The ball at the Detroit 38-yard line. Slot formation right for the Bears. Split left is Scott.
Comes a blitz.
Phipps. Nope. Complete to Williams. Cannot get away from Brooks, but he has the first down at the 26-yard line of Detroit. Time ticking, 1:03 on the clock. Phipps to Dave Williams. 56 seconds left in this first half at Soldier Field. Phipps complete to Payton, hit immediately by Luther Bradley. Gets it to the Lions' 22-yard line. 40 seconds remaining. Crowd alive here at Soldier Field. 30 seconds left. Phipps complete to Williams. Was bobbled but held on at the 15-yard line. Timeout called by the Bears. 23 seconds on the clock. Nice catch by Williams. He bobbled it, took a hit, and still held on.
Well, the Bears are in their hurry-up offense. They still have the timeout. They took a long time before they finally called the first one as Williams came out of the backfield and across the middle, juggled the ball, and finally is brought down, and that was the Bears' final timeout.
Now, they had called one earlier in this first half.
I forgot that one.
Yeah, on a fourth down and short situation. Mike Phipps called it, came over to talk to Neil Armstrong, and he's there again with the Chicago coach. Walter Payton has caught 5 passes for 45 yards in this first half. Rushed 13 times for 49 yards. Not a bad afternoon for Walter, who came into the game with an even 1,000 yards rushing.
Well, there's this discussion going on between Neil Armstrong and Phipps, and I'm sure they're aware that they have no timeouts left. With a first down situation, depending on the types of passes they throw, they can get a lot of plays off. The thing they have to worry about is catching a pass 5 yards and getting tackled, then they would be in dire problems. So they've got to throw the sidelines or into the end zone so that if it's incomplete, it'll stop the clock.
Oakland leading San Francisco, Johnny, 16-10 now, late in the first half.
I think San Francisco has to be the best 1-8 team in the NFL, at least offensively. They have a very good offense. Their defense needs a little work, but they're giving Oakland a good game as the Bears now have a first down situation with 23 seconds.
All right, it is first down. Chicago Bears at the Lions' 15-yard line. Slot formation right. Phipps, Baschnagel, incomplete. Baschnagel was open behind Jimmy Allen. The ball was overthrown.
That time they lined James Scott up in the backfield, and they shifted him out and then switched him with Baschnagel and a slot formation. So they're really mixing up their formations, trying to get one-on-one coverage and confuse the Lions defense on a second down situation. But it was the correct type of pass to at least stop that clock if it wasn't complete.
Second down. Bears. Out to the right goes Baschnagel. Split left is James Scott, number 89. Phipps has time. Intended for Baschnagel. Touchdown. A flag down on the play. Apparently against the coverage man, Walt Williams. And so the touchdown will be good. Now they're signaling it's against the Bears. There'll be a discussion here. The touchdown signal was up because Baschnagel caught the ball. There was one signal by the official against the Bears, but now it's signaled against Detroit, and so the touchdown will stand. So a little confusion on the part of the officials in the end zone, but the first appearance of that play would be interference signal against Walt Williams, as we called it at that moment, and we'll see it again now.
Let's take a look as Phipps once again has plenty of time to throw the ball. There's been good pass blocking. He double pumps, and there's Baschnagel with Williams, and they're... Boy, was that pass perfect as he caught it in the end zone, and apparently the call was against Williams for interfering with Baschnagel before he caught the pass.
Thomas, with the point after, has given the Chicago Bears a 14-7 lead with 12 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Bears going 76 yards in 12 plays, using up 3 minutes and 16 seconds here in this second period, and taking the 7-point lead. Mike Phipps with a dandy pass right on the money to Brian Baschnagel. Well, of course, at halftime, we will bring you completely up to date with all of the scores from around the National Football League today. A number of finals already in because of our later start this afternoon.
They didn't leave the Lions much time to get on the board before the half, 12 seconds, so it looks like it's going to be a 14-7 score at the half. The Bears coming down in the final 2 minutes of this half to score a touchdown, and that's the kind of practice and the kind of things they have needed to do over the years. They haven't been able to mount much of a 2-minute offense. There's the scoring drive. Number of plays, 12 for 76 yards. Time of possession, 3:16, a 14-yard pass from Phipps to Brian Baschnagel, who is doing very well in place of Golden Richards, who is out, as you know, because of a knee injury. And there are the happy Chicago Bear fans.
The Bears, with a victory today, would move to 5-5. The Lions trying to win their second of the year against 8 defeats. Tampa Bay lost earlier to Atlanta. They are 7-3 atop the Central Division. Minnesota lost earlier today to fall to 4-6. John Arnold, the deep man. Lonnie Perrin kicks it off for the Bears. It's taken by John Arnold, number 47, weaves his way out to the 30, close to the 30-yard line. It'll be marked at about the 28. 7 seconds on the clock. Tony Artizzoni made the tackle for the Chicago Bears along with Mike Spivey. So Jeff Comlow, who passed to Ulysses Norris for the only Detroit score, will try and get the Lions something here in the final seconds of the first half.
Well, when you're 1-8, you might try and do something. And mostly in this situation with 7 seconds, you might try and run out the clock. But they've got 3 receivers up at the left side. They may try and throw it downfield and hope for a deflection.
Yes, that's the intention. They've tried this before. A couple of other teams do it, Buffalo and Atlanta. But with a rush on, he goes to Horace King. King down the sidelines. Pretty good effort by King, but time has expired as he got to the Lions' 46-yard line and no farther. So a happy Chicago Bears crowd here on a chilly but quite pleasant autumn afternoon. Applauds their heroes as they head for the locker rooms with the Bears leading 14-7 at halftime here in Chicago. Well, elsewhere around the National Football League, we've got this score just in from the Jets-Green Bay game. The Jets leading Green Bay 21-15, and you can see that earlier today Dallas defeated the New York Giants 16-14. A last-second field goal by Herrera, winning for Dallas at New York today. Atlanta beat Tampa Bay 17-14. Tampa still leading this division. Pittsburgh walloped Washington 38-7. Cleveland over Philadelphia 24-19. The Eagles starting to struggle a little. New England over Buffalo 26-6. They're in first place in the AFC East. St. Louis whipped Minnesota 37-7. Bears fans, Lions fans like that. Baltimore, quite a slugfest, beat Cincinnati. San Diego over Kansas City. Chargers are a good football team. And so, here at halftime in Chicago, the Bears 14, the Lions 7. That's the end of the first half. But the score, Chicago 14, Detroit 7.
For the 1980s, Lincoln Mercury unleashes a striking new cat. New Cougar XR7 with 64% better estimated MPG than 1975. And a new automatic overdrive transmission is available. So very luxurious with plush new fabrics. Cougar. This is your year for the cat.
Here's to good friends.
A toast. Here's to a vanishing breed. Bill Evans, bachelor.
End of a perfectly good ladies' man.
To Bill Evans, a free man. 13 more hours.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
Come on, you guys.
You're beautiful.
Here they come, pouring in from California and Vermont, from Texas, Oklahoma, and Georgia, from all over the country. Billions of used aluminum cans headed for recycling. Today, about 1 out of 4 aluminum cans is recycled and used again. Tomorrow, maybe 1 out of 3. Someday, maybe every one of them.
We can't wait. We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, the heavyweights are in action when the CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights with 16 teams competing for
fields and backyards and schoolyards. A game played by millions of youngsters all across America. And in a few moments, you'll see some of the best of these youngsters competing in the 1979 Punt, Pass, and Kick Area Competition, sponsored by the Ford dealers and by the NFL. PP&K is open to boys and girls ages 8 to 13 and is a test of their ability to punt, pass, and kick a football for distance and accuracy. To get to the area competition, today's participants have had to win in local, zone, and district-level competitions such as this. Area winners will advance to the division competitions in Houston and Tampa Bay, where they can earn a chance to compete in the national finals at Super Bowl 14. Right now, they're ready to put their skills to the test. Skills that were developed through long hours of practice, patience, and coaching. Skills that begin with a game and PP&K.
Earlier today, these contestants participated in the kicking and punting portions of the competition. If the judges are ready, we'll now begin our passing competition with the first 8-year-old. Our first 8-year-old passer is number 12, Jay Rensink from Naperville, Illinois. All right, Jay, good effort. Let's have a nice hand for Jay. Our second contestant is number 10, Eric Gauker from Goshen, Indiana. Attaboy, Eric. Nice going. Now let's move to the 9-year-olds. Number 16, John Lyons from Crystal Lake, Illinois. Pretty good arm, John. Next is number 17, Mark Rohr from Arthur, Illinois. How about that one? And now our 10-year-old contestants. Number 34, Andy Kendi from Arlington Heights. Okay, Andy. Another 10-year-old, number 20, Greg Lynch from South Bend, Indiana. Dan Devine's got his eye on that young man. Now the 11-year-olds. Number 21, Jim Donovan from Oak Park. Good chuck, Jim. Next is number 30, Keith Shepard from Wabash, Indiana. All right, how about that one? Moving to the 12-year-olds, number 23, Paul Thomas from Waukegan, Illinois. Okay, Paul. Next is number 24 from Elwood, Indiana, Ray Holiday. Wow. Let's have a hand for that one. Finally, our 13-year-olds. These are the big guys. Number 32 from Lake Forest, Steve Anderson. Got his Bob Greasy glasses on. Okay, Steve. And finally, number 42 from Fremont, Indiana, Donald Carey Jr. Well, that completes the passing competition. The officials will tabulate the scores, and the winners will be announced at the end of the third quarter. Let's have a big hand for these youngsters. We'll return to Soldier Field after this word from your local station.
The NFL